Washington farm life. And I'm here with Dale the farmer, and I'll have him introduce himself.
Hi, I'm Dale Maris, owner and operator of Maris Farms here in Buckley, Washington. Great to have you guys here. We're going to learn all about corn today and as much other stuff as you want to find out about.
Yeah, and I have my little assistant here with me, and this is my niece Lila. And should we get started?
We should.
Where does corn actually grow?
Well, in here it grows in a field.
All right.
So what we do is we plant, this corn maze is planted about the middle of June, and corn's kind of relegated in a different length of days. This is a long day corn. It's 128 days from the time you plant it to the time it matures, and it can be as low as 75 days all the way up to 130. This is called field corn. It's grown for silage, but the corn that you eat is bred for a totally different set of reasons, just for better flavor, more sugar, something that tastes really good. So there's different uses for different types. Some of them is grown for grain, which you make alcohol out of, it goes gasoline, and other stuff just for the seed corn that gets fed to animals.
All right. Well, I guess I don't even really need my book. We're going to learn all about corn. Shall we begin? All right, let's hit it. Let's go on to the field, shall we? Yeah. Today, but we are looking at a real live corn stalk right now. This is so cool. So Lila, what do you think?
How do these grow?
That's a good question. How do they grow on the stem?
Well, the corn is actually the fruit of the plant. It's the corn plant itself is actually grass, and this is one of the heads of the tassels of grass. You've got some up here on the top. This is called the male, and this down here is the female. And what the female has is it has silk on top. This right now is starting to get dry, but each one of these silk in the tassel is connected to a seed inside of the husk. So as the pollen from the top comes down and hits the silk, it in turn fertilizes each one of the seeds, and then these in turn will be able to produce a corn plant next year. The funny thing about corn is if this gets broken and bent over like this, the pollen from this will pollinate these seeds, and this will get seeds on it. It'll look just like an ear of corn off of the male end. It's weird how it can go either direction.
That's cool. That's very cool. Wow, this is making me hungry just seeing this corn. I think I'm just gonna have a bite. Is that okay?
Well, you have a bite, but this isn't good corn to eat.
No, you can't eat that.
Oh, what am I supposed to do with it? Wait, what?
You can open it up and you can reveal the husks. This corn, though, is grown for animals, which means it's got a real high starch content, but real low sugar. So it doesn't taste good. You wouldn't want to eat this as corn on the cob. But there's a lot of other uses it can have for it. For example, feeding cattle or making ethanol. Even cornstarch would be one that you could do with it.
Can you tell me again, what's ethanol? I mean,
ethanol is an alcohol that's made from corn. It's add yeast, let it ferment, and as yeast digests the starches, it releases alcohol, which can be boiled off and collected and mixed in with gasoline to run your car.
so why don't we use it nowadays for, like, instead of gasoline?
There was a big push about 5 years ago to put ethanol in all the gasoline, but now with oil prices dropping, it's now more advantageous to make gasoline out of petroleum than it is out of ethanol. Depends on what oil prices are. It may come back, it may not.
Very interesting. All right, are we ready to eat it now? Yeah, we probably shouldn't eat this right now. All right, well, we're gonna go in the corn maze. If you wanna come along, come join us. Oh, hey, I found you. Oh, here's Jill.
Good to see you guys.
Hey.
You guys made it through the corn maze, huh?
Barely.
All right. Did you guys find out everything you want to know about corn?
Well, not quite. We have a question.
Okay.
How does it actually grow?
Well, the way corn grows is that we discussed earlier about the tassel and each one of the kernels developing into a seed. This ear of corn is a series of a bunch of seeds, all indexed up real cool on it like this. Well, when they dry out, you can break them apart, and then they need to be planted individually separated like it is here. If they're not like that, and you plant them in the ground, and say you just drop an ear of corn into the ground, it'll just grow as just a clump of grass and will never actually mature to become anything. So without man, corn can't exist. So as soon as we stop propagating corn, corn will no longer be on this earth, except for the seed that has been saved.
Wait, so let me get this straight. So if corn actually drops, okay, and we just went like this and buried it, you mean it can't grow?
It will grow, but it will never produce an ear of corn because it has to have enough space to be able to mature into a healthy plant. So without man being able to do it, and it's called a synergistic relationship, then it will continue to prosper.
Okay. So we have to spread out the seed and drop it.
Yes. Yeah, it has to be spaced out for the optimum growth of the corn for it to go on.
With all this corn, I'm dying to know, do you make a lot of popcorn?
We do make a lot of popcorn, but not out of this corn. That's a different type of plant.
Oh, really? You can't? Okay. So this is for different.
Yes. So for each type of corn that you'd have, there's a different variety, much like flowers. You'll have a rose, you'll have a zinnia, but they're both flowers, but you don't use it for the same thing. Each one of it has a different purpose.
Okay. Very interesting. How long have you had the farm for?
I've been here for 36 years now. Long time.
Long time. And was it always a corn maze?
No, it started out as a dairy farm.
Okay.
I moved here when I was just before my 21st birthday, and I had a dream of being a dairy farmer, and I did that for almost 20 years, and then the world changed and it was time to do something different. So I sold the cows and looked around and tried to figure out what I was going to do, and corn popped in my head.
Hey.
We've been doing this for the last 20.
There you go. Entertaining families from around the community, which is awesome.
Yes.
And then Lila, you had a burning question for him. Something about, can this corn grow like in different areas?
Yeah, can this corn grow everywhere?
Well, any place that's warm enough. Corn really likes warm temperatures. So you can grow it in a desert, but it takes a lot of water to grow. Up here in the Pacific Northwest, it rains all the time, so it's really easy to grow. But in other parts like Arizona and New Mexico, you got to irrigate extensively to make it grow. But it would love it if you get enough water to it. It loves the heat. It'll grow super fast.
Did you hear that, class? You can actually grow corn where you're at, but the thing is you need a lot of water. So maybe you need to get some water from your hose and get that out. So anyway, thank you so much, honestly,
you're
for
very
being
welcome.
with us here today and joining me on the virtual field trip. So
My pleasure.
from Ferris Farms, Washington State, we are signing off from the farm.
Get lost in Harris Farm.
Yeah. Hey, thanks so much for joining us, you guys. We really had a fun time on the farm, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, and thanks for being my assistant. Cheers. We're gonna taste the corn now. Hot, good. See you later. Signing off.